What up, what up, what up? You know who I am. You know who I am. I ain't got to say anything. Anyway, man, I don't normally go into these type of details, but I want to speak about this specific story today. So I happen to be, scrolling through my YouTube channel, and then Prime Crime popped up, and it says Miami bottle girl murdered by mystery delivery driver. So I don't know what made me want to watch it. I said, you know what? Let me pay attention to it. So I paid attention to it, and it's this beautiful girl. Her name is Kayla, gorgeous, from Miami, and she's a bottle girl. She has an amazing life, or what looked like an amazing life. She lives in a condo on the second floor in I believe it's Broward County. I believe it's somewhere in Broward County. And so I just kept watching it. I was like, yo, let me watch this shit. So I ended up watching it, and while I was watching it, some came up where she was dating. She was probably dating multiple men. A lot of the thing is with women these days, they're not dating one man. They're dating multiple men, just like men are dating multiple women. Especially New Yorkers. New Yorkers, especially if you got money, you. If you're a guy and you got money, you're gonna date multiple women from everywhere. Or if it's just if you fly or travel a lot, you're going to date multiple women. It's just what it is. It happens like that. So, this girl named Kayla, she happened to get murdered by a delivery person. Some stocky person in I believe they were wearing like a Crenshaw jacket, the marathon jacket, and they had a New York hat on, and they had a face mask on. So I think maybe they got murdered somewhere during the pandemic. I believe. They don't really specify the date, but the fact that the person is wearing like a face mask goes to show it could be during the pandemic. So fast forward, paying attention to the story. So she was dating this guy. She was dating actually two guys. So the person who find her is a guy that she was messing around with that live in Florida. So of course, when investigators and police and everybody comes in, they question everybody. Of course, they're gonna question him because they're like, "Yo, we gotta see what happened. Did you do this shit? Whatever." Obviously, the guy, he happened to be calling the girl. Girl never pick up. So he knows where she lives. So he happened to go to her house. And he bangs on the door. Girl doesn't pick up. Doesn't answer the phone. So he go downstairs. He sees her car there. So he's like, damn, her car is there. So why is she not picking up, answering the phone? So he go back upstairs. And he bangs on the door some more. But somehow he touches the handlebar of the door. And he pulls the handle down, and the door just opened. And there he goes. He sees Kayla in a pool of her own blood on the floor. He rushes out of there. Or, no, my bad. He didn't rush out of there. I think he tried to give her CPR, something like that. And it didn't work. So he rushed out of there, called 911. 911 comes, investigate the whole scenery. Of course, ask him tons of questions. Obviously, he has a girl too, but he's messing around. Like I said, these bottle girls, these girls in Miami, they mess with anybody. It's like anywhere you go. Women who, they have multiple guy friends that they mess around with, So they go with anybody who has money. Whoever's going to pay for this, whoever's going to hang with them with this, that's what they're going to go for. So she was messing with this guy named Terry. Guy named Terry from New York. He seemed to be a baller or whatever. He would mess with her, buy her food, whatever. When he's in Miami, hang out with her. When he's in New York, he just sends her stuff. Maybe he flies her up to New York. Guys do that these days, especially with a girl that they like. And Kayla is a beautiful girl, but Terry also have another woman. Her name is, I believe her name is Sakina, whatever her name is, Sakina, whatever. And this girl, a little bit bigger, she seems to be pretty from her videos and photos of her. But he has a side chick too. So something happens where he's not being truthful. Either he's not being truthful to his girl in New York, or he's not being truthful to a girl in Miami, which is Kayla. Kayla is the girl in Miami. Sakina or Kina is the girl in New York. So this girl, and I know if they live together, let's say Terry and this girl live together. Now, according to Kayla said Terry's girl hit Kayla up through Instagram. So my guess is, let's say Terry lived with Sakina. Obviously, she must think he's a womanizer or whatever, or he flirts with women a lot. So she must go through his phone all the time when he's not paying attention. He must get drunk or whatever, goes to the phone. Now, I'm just saying if they are dating, because according to Terry's like, oh, that's his ex. This is what he tells Kayla. He's like, oh, that's my ex. Ain't got nothing to worry about. So, of course, Kayla didn't worry about it. But according to Kayla and Kayla's best friend said that this girl hit Kayla up right away. It was like, yo, you messing with my guy. Can you back off? Now, I do know women are jealous of other women, especially if they look better than them. That's the only time women always want to fight for the man, when another woman is in play. And then when another woman is in play and she looks better, oh, it makes them even more furious. So, just so happened, Terry ended up flying Kayla to New York with her best friend. They end up coming to New York, got a hotel for them, everything, they hanging out. Somehow, my guess is his girl end up catching Terry's location, which is Sakina. And they go into a bar. Somehow, Terry must have got wind, or maybe the best friend was there, that his girl or ex-girl was there. So Terry opted to tell, yo, let's go somewhere else. So the best friend ended up going in there because she wanted to see how this woman looked. And she ended up going in there, and she happened to see how the woman looked. I don't think Sakina knew of her best friend, because if she did, she probably would have confronted her. But she didn't confront her, so she went and seen her, and she just, saw the girl sitting there, no drink, no nothing, just sitting at the place. Boyfriend and Kayla didn't go in, so they ended up going somewhere else, which was a smart move, because obviously, mind you, Terry's ex-girl is pretty big. She looked Debo. She looked like she'll drag Kayla from the looks of it. So, fast forward, she's stalking the girl. She's like trash talking her, probably saying a bunch of shit, leaving my guy alone, blah, blah, blah. The whole jealous thing is in effect. Like, I kid you not, it's in effect. So, Kayla doesn't pay this girl no mind. She blocks her. I think she get a new phone or blocks her from Instagram. So she still hits her up. So basically, the girl is basically stalking her outright. And, normally it pisses a woman off when you tell a girl something and they don't listen. It pisses her off. Yo, she got even more furious. All right. Goes to Florida for some reason. She finds out, and my guess is she went through Terry's phone. Because I'm like, how the hell she got her address? The only way she could get her address unless she knew where she worked and she followed her to her address. That's the only way that could happen. So she must have got her address through her boyfriend. I actually think that is her boyfriend. Because it's too close to tell that's your ex. Because he says he told Kayla that's his ex. There's no way that could be an ex if she got that much information. It was one time they were talking. Terry happened to be with his ex. Kayla happened to call. She happened to pick up the phone and cuss her out. It was like, yo, he's with me, blah, blah, blah. But Kayla's not going to listen to her because why? Kayla's also cheating. They're cheating on each other. So they're not thinking anything of it. Kayla not thinking she's going to lose her life. You know what I mean? She's not thinking, oh, this girl going to fucking fly all the way to Florida from New York to fucking come find me, beat me up, and kill me. You know what I mean? She's not thinking that at all. That's what the fucking happened. I don't know where the girl from. I don't know if she's from the Bronx. I don't know. I just know she's from New York because she said dead ass, according to her best friend. Her best friend said that gotta be her because when they spoke, all New Yorkers or people from the Bronx or whatever, they always say dead ass. That's a new terminology from New York. Anyway, Kayla was going home one night, but before she was going home, Sakina happened to be at her complex looking for shit. Like, she's looking, and she masked up. Like, she you can't tell it's her, but you could tell because of her stockiness. But she masked up. She was disguised very well. She almost probably could have got away with it, but she was just stupid in how she did it. She was on Murder Time for this. I don't know what song she was listening to, but she was on Murder. She was on Murder. Me personally, I don't think she was trying to kill her, but she ended up killing her. I think she wanted to just hurt her, at least from what I'm thinking. But because Kayla put up a fight too, she just ended up killing her. Mind you, Sakina is a nail tech in New York. So she paid to go all the way to Florida. This shit was premeditated. Shit was crazy. Matter of fact, I'm going to play some of it for y'all. Check this fucking shit out.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident up to 1 year ago?
Of course, investigators need to interview the person that found Kayla's body, then 31-year-old Roberto Robinson.
Sir, I'm very sorry for your loss.
So this is the guy right here who found his girl. That's the guy who found his girl.
One of the first things we do on scene
but
is
anyway,
speak with the witness. My partner was there a few moments before me, so he'd already begun doing that and kind of gave me a brief on what the 911 caller had stated. I then met with him as well.
Do you remember the first time you attempted to reach out to Kayla?
It was early, so around 10, 11 probably.
10, 11. How did you reach out to her?
I called her.
Called her.
I called her multiple times.
He referred to Kayla as his kind of sort of girlfriend. And again, he alluded to the fact that while they were friends, they were more than friends.
That's
they may
her.
not have been exclusive.
That girl, beautiful.
Kind of his girlfriend.
You think it was 10 or 11. I think you were going to check, but you had said you deleted the text message.
Yeah, I deleted it because she had me upset because I thought like she was ignoring me because I just got back from
Yeah, upset. He almost became a suspect.
So she knew you went to a secret.
Yeah, me and her are very transparent with our situation.
Okay. All right. How
Transparent,
quickly do you delete the messages and the phone calls?
After I came here, I didn't see her car, and I knocked on the door and she didn't answer. So I'm like, God,
Go.
now I'm hot.
He also was able to tell them that he had been upset with Kayla and deleted all her contacts. Now they're trying to figure out a motive and a person that killed Kayla. And when you hear that he was mad enough to delete all the contacts, they have to investigate further. Did that mean he was mad enough to do anything else to Kayla?
Crazy, right? Yeah. Get this shit set up.
No, all right, so that's also what got me upset that made me delete her number. Because at first it was ringing, and then all of a sudden it just went.
Pretty.
It was nothing. It wasn't even an answering machine. It just said call failed, call failed. But then when I called on my other phone, it was ringing out. So then that's what kind of like got me upset.
Rovelto Robinson goes into...
This is my guy right here. I like him a lot.
Kayla.
Shout out to Prime Time.
He was the last person to physically see Kayla before she left the apartment. So Rovelto was able to provide a timeline of when he had gone to visit Kayla the previous night at her apartment. They also used the timeline of when he was calling Kayla to show that this is definitely a time period when she was already.
It's crazy, y'all. Black people kill another black person. And I don't mean to say this, but
that he got the blood on
while
he was trying to give Kayla
women
CPR.
or men, they'll get emotional and they'll kill someone that look like them, but let someone do something to them, would never do that.
And even though he had a girlfriend also in
See, he had a
New York,
girlfriend too.
He confirmed for law enforcement that his girlfriend was in New York on that particular day, and that his girlfriend had never had any issues with Kayla and didn't even know that Kayla existed.
So that's dude girlfriend.
Kayla's body provides
from New York
with a clue.
So they both do the same shit. It's crazy.
The numerous defensive wounds that Kayla suffered showed us that Kayla fought for her life to the very end. Kayla had false nails on, and so there were a couple of her nails that had been ripped off while she was fighting for her life, and those nails were also located inside of the apartment.
The number of stab wounds, the location of the stab wounds, the fact that she had defensive wounds, she was fighting back. That meant that the attacker, the murderer, was someone who was acting with a vengeance. Really, this type of crime implies that it was done out of anger, heat of passion, or in the moment.
The crime scene itself is extremely bloody. It is.
So obviously, you just heard. Mind you, they thought he would have been the suspect, but because of how the scenery of the crime looked, you know, from the stab wounds and how her nails was ripped off and she had defense wounds, it showed a struggle. So it can't be him. Like, unless he had a vendetta against her, it can't. But according to what he said he got a lady in New York. He said, man, we was just messing around, him and Kayla. Yeah, he was a little mad, but he wasn't mad like to the point to fucking kill her. So he said, fuck her. I got shorty in New York. So that's when they find more. It's like, it can't be him. It gotta be someone. It gotta be a friend. It gotta be someone she knows that they're close to. Because only close people will do something like that. Or someone's girlfriend, probably. You know? But anyway.
clear that there was some sort of struggle that happened inside Kayla's apartment.
There was blood that had been spattered on the walls in the entryway.
She was surrounded in a pool of blood. There wasn't any noticeable weapons left on scene.
So
didn't see
pretty,
any
yeah.
knives, but one thing we did note at the time was there was a large glass hookah that was broken and lying partially underneath Kayla and then around her. So large shards of glass. Later on, we collected that and determined that a large portion of the glass part of the hookah bottle, the stem area, was missing from the scene.
And Kayla's dog provides investigators with another lead.
Kayla had a small dog. His name was Dior. The 911 caller said one of the first things he found odd was that when he knocked on the door, it sounded like the dog was almost locked in the spare bedroom of the apartment. Ultimately, find the dog in the spare bedroom. The door was shut. One of the things you noticed was the dog had some blood on its paws, which gave us the impression that it was obviously out when this attack occurred, and someone had put him behind that door and closed it.
At first glance, there is nothing that stands out inside Kayla's apartment that would lead to any suspect. So investigators, they have to go to the surveillance footage, any surveillance footage that exists outside of Kayla's apartment.
This is how investigations go down. This is how people,
While the crime scene was being
how they
processed, detectives
figure
went to
out
the apartment
everything
complex
once they do
and
the full
obtained
investigation.
surveillance footage for the building that Kayla lives in, and also the
And this is
building
why
that
people
was right
should
next
not
to
commit
Kayla's
crimes,
building.
because
Kayla's
you
apartment
over
was
here
located on
committing
the second
crime,
floor. On each side
you're
of
going to
her
be on
apartment
someone's
were
camera. They're
two
going to
different
get
apartments on the
you
opposite
on
side of the
anything.
hallway.
Mind you, this is
And
Florida.
both were equipped with doorbell surveillance cameras.
So you got-
Unfortunately, the one to the west, that camera was not functioning properly. That one would be the best because it did show a portion of Kayla's door. It may have captured the exchange that occurred at that door. But there was a surveillance doorbell camera on the east side of Kayla's apartment, and we were able to collect that.
With the apartment surveillance footage and the Ring doorbell footage in hand, investigators start putting together a timeline.
The footage from the apartment complex and from the doorbell Ring cameras, it matched with Revelto's timeline of events of him going to Kayla's apartment and when Kayla was leaving for work.
So Revelto Robinson is officially cleared as a person of interest here.
We were able to see when Kayla had
See?
left, when she had returned home that evening. So that timeline was important. We were able to really start branching out from there, see who's moving around the complex at that point.
Law enforcement saw a person of interest that arrived at the apartment building at approximately 2 a.m. And this woman
2
was
a.m.
dressed in dark clothing with a baseball hat, a COVID mask, and was also carrying a food bag that belonged to Shake Shack.
There was a black female who was wearing all black. She had on a New York Yankees hat, black pants, and a black jacket. And she just seemed to be kind of milling about the location. She was going up and down stairwells, back and forth through hallways.
From approximately 2 a.m. to 4:45 a.m., this same person would go from Kayla's building to the building next to Kayla's building.
Girl got here at 2 o'clock in the morning.
They observed this person looking at the
crazy.
mailboxes and just moving in a suspicious way.
That in and of itself, somebody at 4 a.m. staking out an apartment is suspicious, but add to that the apparent disguise so that the person would not be identified.
Ultimately, we were able to track her through multiple locations. Her movements, her demeanor just really raised the red flag with her. After Kayla arrives home, we see the suspect one more time walking pretty fast towards Kayla's apartment from another building. But she did all of a sudden have a sense of urgency in her walk, and that was within a minute or two of Kayla arriving home.
Word documents. That's it. I format them, upload them to Amazon, and collect royalties every month. No website.
So you heard that, right?
No ads. No social media. Amazon handles the traffic.
It's crazy.
Look, Kayla's story is incredibly disturbing, and this
Very.
is a story we wanted to bring to you for quite some time. We are able to do this. We're able to put a project like this together. We're able to bring you a prime crime like this because
it's
of the
crazy.
amazing support that we get from our sponsors. And I just want to call
Crazy.
one out right now, Upside.
Crazy. That's insane, what would give you the mind power, brain power to commit something like that? and then think you're going to get away with it. Like, what's wrong with people in this world, man? There's some crazy people in this world, man. I tell you, bro. It is, man. Just people you just be like, what the fuck? Check this shit out. We're not done. We're not done. Y'all gotta hear this shit. I'm gonna let y'all hear this shit.
Was seen very clear on camera.
Right.
It was the same suspect, just based on her build. She had a very distinct build about her, and she's now wearing a different outfit.
The suspect was seen very clear on camera leaving Kayla's apartment building, dressed in a hoodie that Kayla's mom identified as being from their residence. There was also a pair of sandals that both Kayla and her mom shared, and the suspect was seen leaving in those sandals. The suspect was also carrying a shopping bag that was identified as being removed from that apartment as well.
There are so many different reasons why that would be suspicious in my mind. Number one, why would she be wearing Kayla's clothes? Number two, why did she change clothes at all? And number three, is she just trying to disguise her appearance and perhaps make people think it was Kayla leaving the apartment?
When detectives saw that the suspects left in different clothing, it's definitely suspicious. But when that clothing upon leaving is the clothing of the victim, then it tells us that this suspect was definitely inside of Kayla's apartment, because that would be the only way you can obtain these items.
Kayla Hodgson's fingernail provides investigators with another clue.
The DNA that was located under Kayla's fingernails was processed, and that DNA came back to a single female source.
So who exactly is this mystery woman that was caught on the surveillance footage? Well, investigators speak with the people who knew Kayla best.
Detectives then tried to figure out who had problems with Kayla. Was there anyone in Kayla's life that would want Kayla dead? When they spoke to the owner of Bar Dolls, Kayla's employer, she couldn't think of anyone that had any problems with Kayla. When they spoke to Kayla's mom, the only thing that Kayla's mom knew was that there had been a girl that had been making prank phone calls on her phone, but she didn't really have any further details other than that.
I made contact with a few friends of Kayla's and asked them to meet with me so I could see if there was anyone that fits this description that Kayla may have had a problem with. So it would be a tape sworn statement of Janisa Tate. We're here today discussing the death of Kayla Hodgson, and from my understanding, you are the best friend of Kayla. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you mentioned prior to going on tape that you guys had both been in New York recently from July 6th to July 9th. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the last time you actually saw Kayla was when?
The 9th.
Janisa Tate was Kayla's best friend. They were thick as thieves. They worked together at Bar Dolls. Wherever Kayla was, Janisa was also. They traveled to New York together. They would work parties in New York together.
From my understanding, Kayla was dating a guy who had a girlfriend down here in Florida by the name of Rivalto Robinson. Do you know him by Rivalto, or how do you say his name?
Velt.
Velt, okay. Mm-hmm. I've heard several names, V, Vel, Velt, okay. Mm-hmm. Besides V, who else was Kayla seeing as far as guys or girls go?
There was a guy named Shakur. There was a guy named Terrence.
Okay. Is he from New York or Broward?
Terrence lives in New York.
See?
And is Terrence the only one from New York?
Yes.
See?
You're able to establish this relationship between Kayla and this person in New York.
See? This is Terrence. This is Terry. See? So women date multiple guys. It's not, it's a fact. They date multiple. Just like guys date multiple girls. It's just what it is these days. It's no loyalty no more. It's no thing. And then at the same time, if you're not exclusive, it's going to be what it is. I know guys personally, especially if you're single, you're going to date multiple women in any state, Could date a girl in Cali, could date a girl in Houston, Texas, date a girl in Atlanta, Georgia, date a girl in Miami, Florida. It's just what it is, especially if you're a single guy. You know what I mean? So, anyway, get back to this Terry guy.
Name of Terry Thermogene.
Kayla's relationship with Terry Thermogene appeared to be a relationship where whenever Kayla was in New York, Terry, who had a liking for Kayla, would take Kayla out to dinner. If Terry Thermogene was ever in the South Florida area, Kayla and Terry would meet up for dinner. When they weren't in the same city, Terry would send food to Kayla. So that was the extent of what we knew about their relationship.
So now here's another good lead. In that surveillance footage, this mystery woman outside Kayla's apartment was carrying a bag of food.
Terrence in New York, he would send food via Uber Eats. So it's a natural assumption to think if anyone was delivering food in Florida at 4 a.m., that this could have been an Uber Eats.
We know Terrence has a girlfriend.
Correct. Well, he doesn't claim the girlfriend, but yes, he has a girlfriend.
As far as you know, who does she have problems with? Is anyone harassing her, bothering her? Anyone she's in like active problem with?
The only person she's ever had an active problem with, because Kayla doesn't have problems with nobody, male or female, like she doesn't entertain it. She would normally just ignore it, would be Terrence's girlfriend. Literally the first day they met, she messaged her on Instagram.
And what was that problem they had?
Basically, she reached out to Kayla, to see if Kayla was with the gentleman. Terrence, I have a screenshot of their DMs when she DM'd her.
They just met that day. Why is this girl DMing her right away?
That's exactly what Kayla thought. And when Kayla messaged the gentleman and asked him, you have a girlfriend you didn't let me know about, he denied it. He said he don't have no girlfriend. He doesn't know none of that. Like, he has an ex. That's what he claimed it as, his ex. So Kayla continued to speak to him.
See, I see that, right? You see that? That shit's crazy. So that's his ex. He claims that's his ex. But it can't be his ex. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. How the fuck his ex get her contact that very first day? Because if you think about it, you're like, damn, if that's his ex, how the fuck she know who he talking to? Unless she's stalking him, like she's pretending to be someone else on his Instagram, and then he probably just added her, and then boom, she just, oh, you add a new girl? Like that. That's crazy. That's borderline crazy if that happened. But let's say that's not how it happened. Let's just say that was his actual girlfriend, but he was telling Kayla that's his ex-girl. She went through that motherfucker phone because he probably cheat all the time. Then boom, she got this girl. That's the only way that can happen. Let's get back into it.
About Terrence.
What made that girl know about Kayla?
The 29th, me and Kayla worked a party. So the party we worked in New York, they came.
When you say there, you mean Terrence and
Terrence
friends?
And his friends. So we go back there now, and Kayla and him are kicking it off. He takes off his ring and puts it on Kayla's hand. So now all of the friends that are around are recording videos and stuff like that, and one of them is recording Kayla. And you see the ring on the hand.
It's like a real distinctive ring? Or?
Yeah, it's a big ring.
Okay.
I think I have a video of it. Very big, distinct ring. Kayla's dancing, and you see the ring. And Kayla's like, with the ring, she doesn't think nothing of it. The next day, they get a DM from the girlfriend.
So the screenshot's basically saying, like, asking Kayla if she's with this guy now.
Correct.
But Kayla didn't respond to that?
No. She responded to the first two in the beginning, because the girl reached out, and she's like, in regards to what? And then she was like, the guy with the braids, was he trying to talk to you, or do y'all talk? The guy with the braids is Terrence. And then, of course, Kayla didn't respond. That's when she called the guy and was like, a girl messaging me, is that your girlfriend? They went out to dinner. And when they went out to dinner the next day in the morning, she messaged her again. It's you not answering. You could be a female. The sick part is if y'all really talking and hanging out, I want you to know I'm not coming easy on either of y'all.
On her top there's a picture of her.
Yeah, that's her.
Underneath Shakiyna, it says Sakina, Sakiyna.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do we know that she's involved with Terrence, this Sakina? How do you know that's Terrence she's referring to?
All on her page, you see Terrence.
We do know that he did have a girlfriend in New York, Sakina Thompson. And at some point, Sakina had become aware of Kayla, and there had been messages exchanged. But from what I could tell on Kayla's end, there was really no real earth-shattering news that, okay, don't talk to Terry anymore.
So you look at that
She was
video.
still going about her
She
life.
brought
Sakina
Sakina.
lived in New York
think a
and
Chanel
worked
bag.
as a nail tech. Sakina
So-
believed that she and Terry were together, girlfriend, boyfriend, no questions asked, no doubt.
I'm
They
not
were together.
believing. That gotta
Kayla's
be
best
boyfriend,
friend,
girlfriend.
Janisa, also reveals one more important aspect of the communication between Kayla and Sakina.
In the beginning of last month, she was getting harassed with prank calls.
And with those prank calls, what was being said? Was
Yeah.
it threatening calls or...
More like, you're a leave my man alone. Kayla would answer the phone, and she swore it was a person from New York because the person on the phone said dead ass. And that's like something New York people say, you know?
And it was always the same girl's voice?
It was always the same voice, yeah. She said, like, they would be silent for a good minute, then I would have to scream hello just for them to say hello. Like, what the Then at the end, she was like, you know you're a right? And I was like, yeah, I know. Tell me something else. Then the would go quiet.
The day Kayla was found dead in her apartment, both her mother, Diana, and her sort of boyfriend, Roberto Robinson, mentioned something in their statements to police that proved to be a crucial clue.
Is there anything you can think of that I didn't ask you that you think might be important?
She don't have problems. Like, she's a very happy-go-lucky person. The only thing, like, a couple weeks ago, she was getting, like, prank calls, but she didn't get into details about it.
We did receive information from friends and family that Kayla had recently, for the past couple weeks, if not a couple months prior to the homicide, she had begun to get what she would refer to as prank calls from a female.
Kayla's best friend, Janisa Tate, who's being interviewed by police in Broward County, reveals that she saw Sakina Thompson in person in New York.
He's calling her the whole time she's driving there and telling her, don't go inside. Please don't go inside. I'm begging you. Don't go inside. Showtime. Don't go inside. And I'm looking at her and I'm telling her, like, the girl has to be inside, you know? Like, there's no other reason why he don't want you to go in. So we ended up pulling up to Showtime, and he ends up calling her because he sees us park. And he's like, come to my car. So I ended up just still going inside. I text her first, and I was like, the girlfriend is here. I seen her at the end of the bar waiting.
So you saw her in there, and she's just sitting there by herself? Was she with anyone?
By herself, hands crossed, at the end of the bar, no drink in front of her, just sitting there. But that's where the guy was, the guy that I was going to go meet. And I gave him a hug, and then I looked down and I seen her. And when she seen me, she looked at me, then she looked past me, and she didn't see Kayla. So then she sat there for a little minute, waiting to see if she's going to come. Then the place was closing, and she got up and she left.
So Kayla never came in?
They went to a different place together, him and her.
Since Janisa knows what Sakina looks like, investigators show her the surveillance footage from the night that Kayla was murdered.
When Janisa watched the video surveillance from the apartment complex, one of the things that she recognized was the profile of the suspect. She recognized that the female in the video had a large bust. She recognized the walk of the suspect.
What was it about that video that made you think Sakina?
She's very stocky, so she walks with her breasts high, and she has like a deep walk. It's a very distinct walk, like you have a distinct walk because of the way how your breast is, and she has humongous breasts, and the side profile of her face just gives it away. And then her walk is just like B5 full, like she stomps when she walks.
Like a heavy walk.
Yeah. It just makes sense that it's her, like she was really mentally cycled. The girl would not leave Kayla alone. Mind you, this guy talks to many other girls in New York. I've gone to New York and I've gone out and he's with a different female. But I think the fact that Kayla was gorgeous, Terrence was just after her and it was persistent and he would work on it. He would fly her out. He would send her food. Like, it was persistent. I feel like she felt like she was a threat.
Ultimately, one of her friends was able to provide me with an Instagram page for this female, Sakina Thompson.
Hey guys, my name is Sakina. I'm from New York. I'm a full-time nail technician. I don't really know what to say, but just welcome to my channel. I didn't really want the first video to be like, just smack right into something. But I'll be doing beauty, hair.
So, that's her. This is the girl that took her time, planned this whole fucking shit out. Flew to fucking Florida. Got a hotel there. Not only did she get a hotel, they said she ordered delivery food. Mind you, Terrence always send delivery food to Kayla when she gets off work. So, she got delivery food. Then, you wanna know what's crazy? I'm gonna tell you one thing. This girl is lucky Kayla did not have her gun on her. And I'll tell you why. In Florida, if there's a stand your ground, a lot of Floridians have guns. They are allowed to have guns. Now, let's say it happened differently. Let's say this girl, her, went to the door, said, "Oh, I have food delivery." Got the food delivery. Kayla opens the door. Kayla had her gun in her hand. She saw her, BOW! Shot this girl right in the back. This girl would be dead. And I'm sure Kayla had a gun in the house, but she couldn't get to her gun quick enough before she died. This girl's crazy. Borderline crazy. And in the state of Florida, I think murder in the first degree, because it was also premeditated, they can give you the death penalty for that, or life in prison. Now, there's only one way she would get off, but because she traveled to Florida, mind you, from the time this girl was murdered, Kayla, to the time that this girl, her, Sakina, traveled to Florida, check in her hotel room, come to Kayla's condo, her place of where she lived. That's all the time you can think of to change your mind. That's all the time that she could have said, "You know what? Let me let this go. You know what? Let me let this go. You know what? Let me let this go. You know what? Let me let this go." No. The whole time, she was planning to do what she was going to do. And now, I'm not saying she was planning on murder, but she had red in her eyes. Red in her eyes, whatever was on her mind. Now, I don't know what song she was listening to. I don't know whatever she was thinking. But whatever, she thought Kayla was a threat. Now, mind you, Kayla's best friend said that Kayla's not the only girl Terrence was talking to. Terrence talks to many girls. Many. In New York. So why only deal with Kayla all the way in Florida? Florida's like 3.5 days on flight. Many more hours if you drive. And many more hours if you take the train. You telling me out of all those women in New York, this is the only one you want to fuck up? My guess is Kayla was probably the baddest looking girl in Terrence out of all the girls Terrence messed with. And that's why she did what she did. Let's keep going. I may fast forward a little
Mostly
bit.
nails and makeup, swatches, stuff like that. Hauls, outfit of the days.
My Bluetooth Gold just kicked
Hold
in.
on. Hold on, my bad. Let me try to speed this shit up. My bad. Give me a second real quick. Alright.
Kuchler then scrolled Sakina Thompson's Instagram account. He noticed that there were certain clothing items that the suspect was wearing in the apartment complex surveillance that was of a clothing brand that he also found Sakina Thompson wearing in pictures on her Instagram account.
Y'all see that? I always try to clean my cooking, but I'm the best baker ever in that family, so lips hair.
There was also a pair of Prada shoes that the suspect was wearing, and these exact...
She fucking wore high-end brands to fucking do her crimes. Shorty, you gotta be the stupidest girl ever. Like, why the fuck you gonna take the same clothes that you wore on your social media to the fucking crime scene, you dumb... Man, it's crazy. Ugh.
Same Prada shoes were found on Sakina Thompson's Instagram profile with her wearing those same exact shoes. He also zoomed in on when the suspect was holding up her cell phone.
One of the things that really stood out was her cell phone cover. At some point on the video, the suspect pretended like they were looking at the mailboxes for the apartment complex and at the same time flipped over their phone. And when they flipped the phone over, I could see the wallpaper on her phone screen. And just so happens on Sakina Thompson's Instagram, she's holding her phone out in her hand, and the same wallpapers observed on that photo.
Sakina had a pretty good social media presence, and she would post things about her relationship, including with Terry, and that may not be unusual, but they were a little bit toxic.
I ain't gonna lie, I like flirting just to see if I still got it, but linking up? Nah, that's crazy.
Every time Kayla would question Terry about Sakina Thompson, Terry would tell her, she's crazy, she's my ex-girlfriend, you don't have to worry about her. And so that was the only reason why Kayla didn't put too much stock into Sakina Thompson, is because Terry was continually telling her that this is just a crazy ex that you don't have to worry about.
Why are you acting so nervous? And why are you sweating so much? And why do you look so hungry? And...
No, wait, it's not what you think. This is a big misunderstanding. You've got to believe me. Listen, I am telling you, you better listen to me, SpongeBob.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Squidward?
She would talk about hitting Terry and him cheating and different things that would perhaps trigger her.
You know that I throw hands, right? You know that I throw hands, right? You know that I throw hands, right? You know that I throw hands, right?
Investigators tracked the phone number from the WhatsApp messages that Janisa provided.
That cell phone number also came back to Sakina Thompson. It allowed me to obtain a search warrant for her historical cell phone data, which was able to help place her in South Florida at the time of Kayla Hodgson's murder.
Detective Ian Kuchler was able to identify that a Sakina Thompson had traveled from New York City to Fort Lauderdale prior to the homicide.
Just be talking about, thinking I ain't gonna go look on their page. I be looking at y'all page.
In the early morning hours, around 1 a.m. on July 13th, that cell phone traveled to the area of Kayla Hodgson's residence, remained there for several hours, and then left around 6 a.m., returning back to a hotel that we ultimately found that Sakina Thompson had booked a hotel room at. And that was significant because we were able to match it with some later video that we obtained from outside Kayla's apartment complex, showing the suspect being picked up by a rideshare and taken back to her hotel that she had booked. Video surveillance time was accurate with the cell phone data showing the cell phone traveling as well. So we knew that The person we're seeing on that video surveillance traveling from Kayla Hodgins' residence to the hotel was Sakina Thompson.
And then we again come back to that bag of food that this mystery woman on the surveillance footage was carrying.
Sakina Thompson, when she checked in at the hotel,
When battery is at 50%.
ordered fast food from a local establishment, and that same bag was brought by her to the crime scene. Having that information and showing her carrying that particular bag gave us the impression that maybe she utilized it as a ruse to pretend as a delivery, someone bringing food late at night. Because we do know that Sakina Thompson's boyfriend, Terry Thermogene, had in the past sent mobile food orders to Kayla after work late at night.
You got to be... Did y'all hear? So you stole this woman's clothes? Stole this woman's clothes. Now, I understand you killed her. You was panicking. Or at least that's what I'm thinking. You panicked. But instead of calling 911, you just went and fucking got her clothes, put all your clothes in that bag, picked up some of the evidence. You didn't even pick up all the evidence. You picked up some of the evidence, put that shit in that bag, and you took off. So you see? Instead of being mad at the boyfriend, and then at the same time, look what they said. They said she was toxic. She used to beat up the boyfriend. She used to put hands on the boyfriend, Terrence. So maybe that was an ex. She was just a toxic woman. Any woman that you're with and they, I only talk to classy women who respect themselves and, just more intelligent and stuff like that. I can't talk to women who are about abusing guys. Like, I've never been with a woman who abused me. Only privately in an intimate session. I don't mind being abused in a way like that. But abuse physically? Like, you hit me like you a man? Nah. I don't hit women. But I tell you, you hit me in a way like a man? Oh my God, I got some friends. They're going to beat the crap out of you. Girls. I'm going to call them up. I'm like, listen, this girl Lisa, she just beat me up for no reason. Hit me in my eye, kicked me in my ding. And I can't hit a woman. I need you to come down here to handle business for me. But this day and age, you can't do that. Can't do that. You can't put your hand on no one. You want to know why? Because it's an assault. And if you have someone else do it, you put their lives at risk or their freedom at risk. So what you do, you call the cops and you file a complaint. That's what you gotta do. Anyway, this is a sad situation, a sad story. I just wanted to bring it out there. I'm not going to give you two more details on it. Basically, the girl killed her. They figured it out. They matched up cell phone records. A lot of people be trying to get rid of, try to get rid of you. You can't get rid of. You remember, any new smartphone today will pinpoint where you are. Mind you, you guys sign up with a lot of applications. Those applications want to know your locations. It's going to put you wherever you are. Everyone now has cameras everywhere, especially in the city. Every building has fucking cameras. I'm trying to tell y'all, stop committing crimes. It doesn't make sense. You're not going to get away with it. Police may not get you the first day. They might get you second or third or fourth or fifth or whatever. They build the investigation. That investigation that they build up is the investigation on how they capture you. They catch you as a crime or criminal. You understand? Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this story. It was an interesting story. Shout out to Primetime. Shout out to my guy. I follow him a lot, like his views on how, what he speaks about everything. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thanks for rocking out with me. It's your boy Kerbs Rules on the Kerbinator podcast. And I'll let you. Peace. Go Knicks!